Hey everybody, I'm back. I hope you viewed the video discussion of the syllabus. What I'd like to discuss now, again, this is to get us caught up for the class we missed last week on Wednesday. I'd like to go over these two paragraphs I've got. And in going over them, I want to discuss how to make our body paragraphs of our essays better. So let's just dive in and get started, and hopefully not have a very long video, keep it kind of short. So let me read this paragraph first. You can see it's why I'm studying English. I'm studying English now because I need it to help me pass my business classes. Being a writer has always interested me, and someday I'd like to write professionally. I can create good sentences, but writing strong, cohesive paragraphs is a real problem for me. Another reason that I need the course is that it's required for every student at my college. I need to improve my reading and writing skills. Okay, let me read it one more time. I'm studying English now because I need it to help me pass my business classes. Being a writer has always interested me, and someday I'd like to write professionally. I can create good sentences, but writing strong, cohesive paragraphs is a real problem for me. Another reason that I need the course is that it's required for every student at my college. I need to improve my reading and writing skills. Okay. Do we like this paragraph? Do you like this paragraph? Now, normally I'd be doing this in class and we'd all be discussing together. Obviously, that's not going to happen with this video. So I'm hoping you're running some of these questions that I ask you through your head a little bit. The first thing we might want to look at in terms of a good thing or bad thing is, does this paragraph have a topic sentence, and does it need a topic sentence? Now, probably some of you are saying, yeah, we need to have topic sentences. I'll get to that question in a minute. But first of all, does it have one? Is there some sentence that encapsulates the main point of the paragraph, that tells us what this paragraph's all about and why we're reading it? Sometimes I get students answering and saying it's sentence one. Let's read sentence one. I'm studying English now because I need it to help me pass my business classes. Now, if that were the topic sentence, then the entire paragraph would be about what he needs in his business classes, relate to business classes in some way. But you'll notice when we get to the second sentence, already we're not talking about business classes. Being a writer has always interested me, and someday I'd like to write professionally. So no, sentence one can't be the topic sentence. Is there any other sentence? I don't really see one that works. And maybe that's a problem for this paragraph. Maybe not. So let's try to answer the question. Even though we don't have an actual sentence, that's a so-called topic sentence, do we know what the main point of this paragraph is? I'm going to read it again a third time. Tell me what you think. I'm studying English now because I need it to help me pass my business classes. Being a writer has always interested me, and someday I'd like to professionally. I can create good sentences, but writing strong, cohesive paragraphs is a real problem for me. Excuse me. Another reason that I need the course is that it's required for every student at my college. I need to improve my reading and writing skills. What is this paragraph about? What is the writer trying to show us? Well, I think it's pretty clear. He's trying to talk to us about why he's studying English. That's what's going on in this paragraph. The whole paragraph is an exclamation of that point. Explanation of that point. Isn't it? I think we're all pretty clear on that. And this brings up a point. I asked this question earlier. Do you need to have a topic sentence in every paragraph? Answer is no. If the main idea of the paragraph is clear, you don't have to have an actual sentence, a sentence made of words that express that. However, it's probably a good idea to have it, particularly for inexperienced writers. Now, this idea, again, when you don't have a actual sentence, This idea is called the controlling idea. That's the term most composition books use, and they call it the controlling idea because it controls what's in the paragraph. And so as long as your paragraph has a controlling idea and it's clear to your reader, that's another key point, it has to be clear to your reader, then you don't need an actual sentence. Okay, so I think we do have a controlling idea here. I think it's mostly clear to us. I hope so. Let's go to the next quality of a good body paragraph. And to help us get into that, again, if we were in class, we could have a little discussion. I'm going to go right to what I call a scratch outline. Now, a scratch outline is simply an informal outline that's just for you, not for anybody else. And by informal, it means, well, if it's just for you, you can make it however you want. Do you want Roman numerals? Put them. If you don't, don't. Do you want complete sentences? Okay, put them. If you don't, don't. You want to abbreviate everything to make it as brief as possible? Then do that. Misspell everything. You don't have to worry about it because you're the only one who's going to look at it. Now, honestly, I hate outlines. My high school teachers often ask for an outline to go with our papers that we turned in. And so, like a lot of students, I wrote the essay and then I wrote out an outline, a very formal outline, not a scratch outline, but a formal outline just to make the teacher happy. And I thought it was like busy work, unnecessary, tedious, and I hated it. So I kind of had this bias going in against outlines. However, when I got to graduate school, and we were doing a lot of writing, oh my God. I don't know. I think around 10,000 words a week. Was it that many? Maybe, yeah. I think so. And this was way back, as you can imagine. We didn't have computers. Everything was done on a typewriter. So there I am at 4 in the morning. I can see it in my mind now so clearly. I got an 8 o'clock class. I got this paper due. And I'm blasting away at my typewriter and also wanting to go to bed. But I'm probably not going to make it. Anyway, so you get halfway down a page and you make a mistake. Without a computer and an editing screen and all this other stuff, what do I have to do to fix that? I got to pull out the paper, pull it out of the typewriter, put a new one in, position it, and start typing from the top all over again, that page. OMG, get me out of here. So you want to try to avoid having those issues, when you're typing. You guys don't know how lucky you are with these computers. Wow. In any case, so I just to help me get through these pages and keep the mistakes to a minimum, I started doing scratch outlines of my body paragraphs. And it was useful. It helped me kind of visualize, particularly when it's 4 in the morning and you're tired, what was going on with your paragraph and how to make it better, perhaps. So let's do a little scratch outline. Let's see let me get, we'll use red. Yeah, give me red. Okay, and let's choose that width. Hopefully that'll all work. So we do have a controlling idea. I'll put /TS for topic sentence, and what is it? And again, you can abbreviate anything. I'll just put why English, why I'm studying English. I abbreviated English. Now, so you've got your controlling idea in this case. We often think about the information in the paragraph in terms of primary support and secondary support, or some books use the term direct support and indirect support. The primary supports or direct supports directly support the topic sentence, provide some information that explains why we're studying English in this case. Well, you can see we've got that in sentence number 1, business classes. I'm just going to put B classes. We know what it means. This is our scratch outline. We don't have to write it out. We need help to pass those business classes. I could have put I'll put the word pass in there. Business classes pass. Okay. What's our next sentence? Do we have some information? Just so we don't get confused with A and B, I'll put BUS for business. Business classes pass. The next sentence, being a writer has always interested me and someday I'd like to write professionally. Is that a separate direct support, primary support, or is it an indirect support, a detail that supports passing business classes or needing English to pass business classes? Well, you can see it has nothing to do with passing business classes. So I think for sure it's another direct or primary support. We'll use the cap B for it, and I'll just say B writer. We know what it means because this is our scratch outline, not the teacher's. Okay, next point. I can create good sentences, but writing strong, cohesive paragraphs is a real problem. Now, there's three choices here for us with that sentence. It's either a cap C, another major point, or it's a indirect support. Maybe it supports passing business classes, or it's an indirect support under B. Maybe it supports being a writer. It's not 100% clear. We'll put a question mark on that one. Okay, where does it go? Let's go to the next sentence. Another reason that I need the course is that it's required for every student at my college. A college requirement. Now that could either be a cap C, but couldn't it also go up here with business classes? Could we change cap A? Let me see if we can change cap A. Let's see. I'm going to erase what we got. And I'm going to put, let's see. I need it for school or for studying at my college. And now we could have two minor points or indirect secondary supports. Business classes, B classes, we need them to help pass those. And it's a requirement, which is that sentence way down here. That might be a little better. But in any case, you can see the way it was originally written in the paragraph. It kind of flips back and forth. So in line 1, we have something to do with education, business classes. Then we flip in line 2 to being a writer. And then we have number 3. I guess that could be under being a writer, you need good sentences, or it could be under business classes and school and requirements and education. But in any case, we're back to educational stuff for sure in line 4. And shouldn't that be up there with business classes under the educational section? This paragraph, the way it's written, it might have a controlling idea, which we can see, but it lacks coherence. And coherence is the second quality of a good body paragraph that we need. Okay? It means, logical flow of ideas, or just flow, logical presentation of thought, however you want to say it. This paragraph is lacking in that. But, that scratch outline kind of helps us figure that out. And still, as far as sentence 3 goes, let me find sentence 3 again with my cursor. Here it is. You can stick that under wherever you think it goes. That fits the situation for you. If you were writing this paragraph, put it under A, you could put it under B. Same thing with the last sentence. I need to improve my reading and writing skills. It's possible we could make that a cap C. And then an indirect support could be line 3. I can create good sentences, but writing strong, cohesive paragraphs is a problem. That could fit under improve my reading and writing skills for a cap C. But still, if that's the case, this is all out of order. But this is where the scratch outline helps you kind of think about it and kind of figure out where you want to put all this info. Okay, let's go to the second paragraph. I'm not going to make a scratch outline of this one because I think it's pretty clear. Let's read it. I'm studying English for two reasons. The more important reason is that I'm studying business at my college. In order to get good grades, I need to improve my reading and writing skills. Besides, I'm required to take this course in order to get my degree. Such requirements are a real headache. My second reason for taking English is that being a writer has always interested me, and someday I'd like to write professionally. I love long novels. I can create good sentences, but writing strong, cohesive paragraphs is a real problem for me. I hope this course will help me solve this problem. You know, we can do a scratch outline in our head. Let's do it. Topic sentence, first sentence. I'm studying English for two reasons. Cap A, first direct support. The more important reason, by the way, some students think that sounds weird. Remember, when you have two items, it's what we call a comparative. I like chocolate cake more than pecan pie, for example. You compare two items. So the more important reason, because there's only two reasons you can see in the first sentence, and you're not going to say the most important reason, because that would be when you have three or more items, not two. Just pointing that out. In any case, the more important, so here's our scratch outline. I'm studying English for two reasons. There's our topic sentence / controlling idea. Then cap A, more important reasons is because I'm studying business. And then the next sentence would be indirect support. In order to get good grades, I need to improve my reading and writing skills. Another indirect support. Besides, I'm required to take this course in order to get my degree. Then another indirect support. Such requirements are a real headache. Now our cap B, our next direct support. My second reason for taking English is that being a writer has always interested me, and someday I'd like to write professionally. First, indirect support. That little I love long novels. Second, I can create good sentences, but writing strong, cohesive paragraphs is a problem, and I hope this course will help me solve it. Yeah, so it's pretty clear. I don't think we need to do a scratch outline there on the screen. But I'm guessing there are probably some sentences, or at least one, or maybe two, that bother you. What would that be? So you answer the question for a second while I get a sip of water. I'm really thirsty, if you don't mind. Okay, I'm back. Thank you. How about line 4? Such requirements are a real headache. How many of you think that that's not so good? Well, one way to ask yourself that question is, does it fit under the controlling idea? Two reasons for studying English. That's the controlling idea. Is this part of that body of evidence and ideas about studying English? No, not really. It's talking about whether you have a headache or not, how you feel, that particular moment. It doesn't really belong in the paragraph. We could say this sentence violates the third quality of a good body paragraph. So far, we've got topic, sentence, controlling idea. Number 2 was coherence. This paragraph generally has coherence, logical flow of thought. It flows okay. Third one is unity. The paragraph needs to be unified. Everything that's in the paragraph belongs in the paragraph. And I don't think we can say that here with that sentence. So what do you do when you have a sentence that violates unity? LU, lack of unity? Rip it out of there. Just rip that out. Doesn't belong in there. Now, the I love long novels, it kind of seems like it violates unity, but if you look at the cap B, capital B, he says he wants to be a writer and write professionally. Maybe the writer here was trying, in line 6, is trying to explain why he wants to write professionally. I want to write professionally because I love long novels and I want to write them. But the way it's written, it doesn't really give not quite enough information, but I think we could make it fit and not be so choppy. So, yeah, that's a unity problem which is fixable. We don't have to rip that sentence out. Okay, so now we've had 3 qualities of a good body paragraph, talking about unity. The fourth problem is adequate and specific support. Adequate means enough. Do we have enough support for the controlling idea to make a good case or a good explanation of why I'm studying English? That's a judgment call every time you ask that question, but you do need to ask that question for every one of your body paragraphs this semester. Now, when you're dealing with stories and poems and plays, you're going to take a lot of quotes. You'll get a lot of specific support. Quotes to back up what you're saying, and we're going to look at examples of that. And in this case, yeah, we're not getting quotes from some other work, but I do think there's some specific stuff here, and overall, I would say it's basically okay. One thing we'll be talking about as well soon with paragraphs is using transition words to make things go well. By transition words, a word like besides or in addition, furthermore, for example, a word like also. There's not a lot of them in this paragraph, but we're going to be looking at that kind of stuff in detail because that, done correctly, that will help your paragraphs flow. In any case, 4 qualities of a good body paragraph. Let's quickly note them together. Topic sentence, controlling idea. Coherence, unity, that's number 3. Number 4 is adequate and specific support. Every time I read one of your paragraphs, a body paragraph, I'm going to be looking for those qualities. And we're going to very soon start looking at some sample papers, and we'll look at them for those qualities together. Some of these papers will be written by actual students in my class in years past. Now, in terms of intro and concluding paragraphs, they're kind of different animals, and you might have some other things to say about them, but I wanted to start with body paragraphs. They form the meat of your paper. Okay, everybody. I'll let you go. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, meeting you face to face. I hope you get a chance to look at the video. Let me find the button I need to stop this thing. Okay, I found it. Okay, I'm signing off.